Welcome to this explainer. I want you to imagine the hidden, massive cost of losing a 10x employee. You know, that star player who drives innovation and really anchors your team. Losing them is a completely different blow to your business than losing just a standard contributor. So today we're unpacking an absolutely critical, highly focused HR metric that's designed to help you protect that absolute top talent. We're looking at what's called attrition performance rating-wise. Now, I know that's a highly technical way of saying something incredibly vital: regret analysis. If you deal with human resources, manage a team, or just care about the long-term health and efficiency of your business, this is the foundational data you need to truly understand turnover. We aren't just looking at who's leaving, we're looking at the exact value they're taking out the door with them.
Let's dive straight into the ultimate retention question. This is the core anxiety that genuinely keeps managers and business leaders awake at night. Have I lost most of my high-performing employees? As a manager, pouring all your energy into building a phenomenal team, only to see your best people leave? It's gut-wrenching. And it's not just a fleeting thought. This is literally the fundamental question of talent management. Because look, losing an employee who is underperforming is one thing. Sometimes it's actually a necessary part of growth. But losing a star player, that directly impacts your bottom line. It disrupts team morale, and it completely stalls future growth. This is exactly what our source material addresses today, and it's the exact problem we're going to solve.
So the direct answer to that anxiety is regret analysis. Basically, it's just the process used to figure out the attrition based on the performance rating of the employees. It's this powerful analytical framework that helps us truly understand the specific nature of our turnover. We aren't just, counting empty desks at the end of the month. We are qualifying the actual impact of the person who used to sit there. Think about the difference between losing a top-tier innovator who single-handedly streamlined your whole software platform versus an employee who was consistently struggling to meet their basic KPIs. One is a regrettable loss, meaning a high performer we desperately wanted to keep, and the other is a non-regrettable one. Regret analysis is what quantifies that exact difference. Okay, let's move on to categorizing total attrition. Think about the standard turnover rate, the total attrition of an organization. It's a pretty blunt, generalized metric. Sure, it tells you exactly how many people walked out the door, but it completely lacks context. To get any real value, we really have to apply a magnifying glass to that raw number. We take that big, scary total attrition number and we dissect it. We refine the data by mapping every single departure against their last known performance rating. This specific act of categorization, well, it's the magic step. It transforms a pretty useless, blunt metric into a clear lens that reveals the hidden truth about your organization's health. By categorizing the data this way, we filter out all the noise of overall turnover to identify a precise, highly important metric: the attrition of your high performers. That specific group, that is your regret. If this group is too large, or worse, if it's steadily growing month over month, your organization is actively bleeding its best talent. Understanding the size and the trajectory of this specific subset of turnover is the entire goal of cross-referencing your attrition with performance ratings. It separates the totally acceptable turnover from the truly damaging losses. Next up, we need to talk about tracking the ratios. Because the fundamental output of all this categorizing isn't just a long list of names of people who quit. The crucial point here is establishing a clear, actionable ratio. You're looking to establish the ratio of high-performer attrition compared to your overall attrition pool. Think of this ratio as basically the ultimate vital sign for HR professionals. It's the one definitive number that cuts right through the noise and the excuses you hear in exit interviews. It completely takes the emotion and the guesswork out of employee departures and replaces it with a hard, quantifiable metric that management can actually digest, track, and act upon. Now, to make this ratio genuinely meaningful, our source notes that organizations have to track it across specific timeframes: monthly, quarterly, and yearly. You can't simply run a regret analysis once a year and expect to magically save your top talent. By tracking these ratios monthly, you can catch sudden dangerous spikes in high-performer turnover. Maybe that's due to a recent policy change or some shift in market compensation. Reviewing it quarterly helps you align those retention strategies with your broader business goals. And looking at it yearly, that gives you the macro trends to see if your culture is actually improving or if it's degrading. Together, these tracking intervals create a continuous heartbeat of retention data. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a pretty crucial thought. When your next employee leaves, is it just going to be a standard statistic, or will it be a source of measured organizational regret? Regret analysis transforms basic attrition data into a strategic mirror, reflecting how well you're truly retaining the people who drive your success. So take a second and consider how your own organization measures turnover today. Are you just counting heads as they walk out the door? Or are you actually tracking the loss of your top talent over time so you can do something about it? Thank you so much for joining me for this breakdown, and keep learning.